You can fool some of the people some of the time, and that's enough to make a pretty decent living. So said W.C. Fields. 3 essential points. Number 1 is crooks are coming at you all the time, through the internet, through telephones, through knocking on your doors, through direct mail. As I speak, they're in some dark cave, figuring out ways to cheat you. Second of all of us will at some day be some of those people, some of those times. Everyone is going to fall victim to scams, including graduates of the Harvard Business School. When they fall victims to a scam, of course, it costs them a whole lot more money. The third thing to know is if you are a victim, or when you are a victim, do something, scream, don't blame yourself. Crooks are counting on us thinking, oh, well, if I wasn't so stupid, I would have never done that. I must be getting old. I must be getting senile. I should have never been tricked this way. Don't think that way. There are many agencies, government, federal, state, local agencies, that their job is to protect consumers. So talk to those people. You can take the person to small claims court. Okay, let me talk a little bit first about identity theft. Keeping your identity. Now, when we were younger, that meant something different to us. It meant, being true to ourselves, mounting to our own drummer, doing it our way. Now, identity theft means about keeping your numbers. The way identity theft works is that a crook will get your numbers, Social Security number, checking numbers, whatever, and they will then set up additional credit cards or maybe bank accounts and get money out. Now, unless they're very new at the game, they're not going to pay the bills that they run up, but they're going to come to you. How can you predict or protect yourself from identity theft? Protect your numbers. Okay? You may get an email to the effect from some credit card company saying that we need to you got to immediately contact us because otherwise we're going to have to stop giving you any kind of credit at all. There is no bank, there's no government agency that is ever going to send you that kind of a message and ask you to respond by giving your Social Security card number, giving any other numbers. All of those are lies. Of course, if you're ordering something online, then you're going to have to give your credit card, but never answer some credit or some email that's demanding that kind of information because it's only a crook that's sending it out. Second of all, a lot of times people just routinely ask you what your Social Security number is. I remember the other day I was at the doctor's office and one of the forms that asked is, what's your Social Security card number? And I just didn't fill it out. And of course no one ever bothers to check in any event, but if they did, they don't have no reason to legitimately ask me what my Social Security card number is. And I don't distrust my doctor, but other people have access to those records. Shred your documents. If you can go to Best Buy or any of those places, they have shredders, but the best kind of a shredder is called a cross shredder. That shreds documents both ways. And those are very hard to put back together. A shredder that just cuts it in long strips is fairly easy to reconstruct. So shred your documents. Keep your papers in a locked safe if you have one. Turn off your computer at night. You don't want to leave your computer on hooked up to the web because people can hack into your computer and get all of your records that way. When you're shopping online, by the way, it's better to use a credit card than a debit card because if somehow they steal the numbers, a credit card, you're only going to be liable up to $50 if someone steals your credit card and starts making these kind of payments. But if they get your debit card, they can maybe take everything out of your checking account. What about these free credit reports that they advertise with those horrible songs on television? Free credit reports and all of that. You should try to get a free credit report. And what you check to see is, has anybody opened up any new accounts on my name? Okay? And then you can take steps to prevent them from doing that. Now, they're always advertised as free. And of course, they never are. You have to go to the website and you work your way through, and they keep asking you to buy something for $30, $20, all the way through. Eventually, however, if you're not faint of heart, you can get a free credit report. You can go to www.creditkarma.com annualcreditreport.com. And there they will give you the names of the three major credit reporting agencies. Now, they are obligated to give you one free credit report a year. So if you think about it, and that way you can get 3 by going to each of them. But again, they're not going to give up that information for free without a struggle on your part. Quick thing about passwords. I always put down a password that I know I will never forget, that is very, very clever. And of course, within 12 hours I forgot what that password was. One trick is to use a very simple word, but instead of using vowels, put in a number. For example, you could have the word password, and it would be P1SSW1RDS. Or you can put in your name and just put in numbers rather than vowels, and things like that. Then you can, as those are much easier to remember. What about your credit cards and your checks? There's old-time crooks that just steal your credit card, run up bills on that. Obviously, you want to check your credit card bill to make sure that the charges on that are ones that you authorized. You have like 60 days to report fraudulent ones. Do it as soon as you can. Under the Uniform Commercial Code, and I promised a lot of my lawyer friends that I would mention the Uniform Commercial Code, for bank checks, you have 30 days to report if there's a fraudulent check among those returned. So you got 30 days to do that. And if you do, the check or the bank has to pick up the loss. If you do, after the 30 days, then you have to show that the bank was negligent, and that's going to be hard to do. What about some scams? Big scam today is the granddaughter in Canada scam. Now what these people do is they go on Facebook or other places and they get a lot of personal information about people. They find out that there's a granddaughter and Charlie is her grandfather. So they get Charlie's name and they know a lot about the granddaughter, and then they will phone her and they'll have somebody, in an hysterical young girl's voice saying, "Granddad, I'm in Canada and I need $2,000 to get back. So please wire it." Okay? That's a scam. And obviously there's going to be variations of that. You may get they might be from Aunt Jane who, is in Oklahoma or someplace like that. And they need money to get home. Just keep track, be very leery of wiring money to anybody, and but keep track of your relatives and make sure your granddaughter stays at home. Phone fraud is very big. If you haven't done it already, you can go to www.donotcall.gov and list your telephone number with it. That prevents telemarketers from phoning you. And that is a tremendous relief. Unfortunately, it does not prevent charities from phoning you or political parties. I have got so many calls from charities thanking, and they don't ask for money, they always thank me for my generous donation that I made the year before. And I had no idea I was so generous the year before. And no doubt I wasn't. But the gimmick is, well, you gave us $50 last year, and surely you can give us $50 this year. One thing we all have to do is learn to hang up on people. We don't like to hang up. It's impolite. The people, you can't use excuses with these people. They know everything. You say, "I can't talk now, my house is burning down." And they'll have something clever to say to keep you on the line. Just hang up. When you hang up, these people are not going to feel bad. What they're going to do is light another cigarette, burp, scratch themselves, and phone the next mark. One of my favorite cartoons showed a hot dog standing next to his or her mailbox, opening a letter that read, "Congratulations, you may already be a wiener." Now, you may get an email or a letter saying that you've won the Canadian lottery. And of course, you can't remember signing up for the Canadian lottery. But of course, to process the money, you'll need to send them $200 or whatever, and that's what the scam is. By the way, the odds against winning Powerball are 146 million to 1. That means that you could buy 73 million Powerball tickets and still have only one chance in 2 of winning. And even if you had the winning ticket, how would you ever find it? So lotteries are not a good thing to play. Home repair scams. You know, people will come, they all look like Will Rogers. Sometimes they claim they're from the city, that they want to inspect your furnace, or they have to inspect your furnace or your roof. And they get up there and they say, oh yeah, you need all these repairs. Some of the worst ones, they tear apart your furnace and say, oh yeah, well you need these repairs. And if you give us $500, we'll repair it. Otherwise, we're just going to leave here and leave your furnace all torn apart. So be leery of those. Finally, if you do fall victim to a scam, and you're going to, do something, scream, get in touch with your county or your district attorney will have a consumer fraud. Your state attorney general will have a consumer fraud. There are a lot of federal programs that deal with consumer fraud. Just don't take it sitting down. Phone somebody, do something.
Hello, Consumer Protection Agency. May I help you?
Yes, I've been cheated.
Please hold. I have 3 Harvard business graduates ahead of you.